June 2nd, 2015, Tuesday of the 9th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the book of Tobit. On the night of Pentecost, after I had buried the dead, I, Tobit, went into my courtyard to sleep next to the courtyard wall. My face was uncovered because of the heat. I did not know there were birds perched on the wall above me, till their warm droppings settled in my eyes, causing cataracts. I went to see some doctors for a cure, but the more they anointed my eyes with various salves, the worse the cataracts became, until I could see no more. For 4 years I was deprived of eyesight, and all my kinsmen were grieved at my condition. Ahikar, however, took care of me for 2 years, until he left for Elimaeus. At that time, my wife Anna worked for hire at weaving cloth, the kind of work women do. When she sent back the goods to their owners, they would pay her. Late in winter, on the 7th of Distress, she finished the cloth and sent it back to the owners. They paid her the full salary and also gave her a young goat for the table. On entering my house, the goat began to bleat. I called to my wife and said, "Where did this goat come from? Perhaps it was stolen. Give it back to its owners. We have no right to eat stolen food." She said to me, "It was given to me as a bonus over and above my wages." Yet I would not believe her and told her to give it back to its owners. I became very angry with her over this. So she retorted, "Where are your charitable deeds now? Where are your virtuous acts? See, your true character is finally showing itself." The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "The heart of the just one is firm, trusting in the Lord." Blessed the man who fears the Lord, who greatly delights in his commands. His posterity shall be mighty upon the earth. The upright generation shall be blessed. The heart of the just one is firm, trusting in the Lord. An evil report he shall not fear. His heart is firm, trusting in the Lord. His heart is steadfast. He shall not fear till he looks down upon his foes. The heart of the just one is firm, trusting in the Lord. Lavishly he gives to the poor. His generosity shall endure forever. His horn shall be exalted in glory. The heart of the just one is firm, trusting in the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Some Pharisees and Herodians were sent to Jesus to ensnare him in his speech. They came and said to him, "Teacher, we know that you are a truthful man, and that you are not concerned with anyone's opinion. You do not regard a person's status, but teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. Is it lawful to pay the census tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay, or should we not pay?" Knowing their hypocrisy, he said to them, "Why are you testing me? Bring me a denarius to look at." They brought one to him, and he said to them, "Whose image and inscription is this?" They replied to him, "Caesar's." So Jesus said to them, "Repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God." They were utterly amazed at him. The Gospel of the Lord.
June 2nd, Tuesday of the 9th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading comes from the book of Tobit, chapter 2, verses 9 to 14. Yesterday we heard about the character of Tobit, that he's a very good man, risking his life to do a charitable deed to a stranger. Well, today we hear about the reward that he receives. He's lying in a garden, and a bird poops from above. It lands in his eyes, and he loses his sight. Everybody is filled with wonder at this. This just doesn't seem fair. Well, the wife of Tobit goes out and seeks extra work in order to make a living for the family. And poor Anna receives a little kid goat as sort of a tip for some of the work that she's done. Tobit responds very inappropriately. He's all nervous that this goat might have been stolen. We have no right to eat it. This is typical of families where tragedy strikes. That very often they don't know how to direct their confusion, their anger, and they direct it at each other. In fact, families where a child dies very often end up in divorce because the parents don't know what to do with their suppressed rage, their suppressed grief. They end up taking it out on each other. And in fact, what is Anna's response? What have all your charitable deeds gotten you? She lashes back. And this is very, very sad because at a time of difficulty, we should reach out to each other and show that we need each other. But very often that doesn't happen. The Gospel is from Mark 12:13-17. The Pharisees and Herodians come up to Jesus in an attempt to trap him. They say, "Teacher, we know you're a truthful man." Notice how they're buttering him up so that he has to give a response. Is it proper to pay the tax to Caesar or not? Now, if he says yes, that we should pay the tax to Caesar, they can accuse him of being a Roman collaborator. If he says no, then they can tell the Roman authorities and he'll be punished by them. But he's very clever in his response. He first of all says, "Give me one of those coins." Now, by the fact that they're carrying a coin with the image of Caesar on it, he's already implicated them in collaborating with the Roman authorities. So if they say that he's a collaborator, he can easily say they are too. And he says, "Whose image is this?" They say Caesar's. "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is God's." There is a proper response to the state authority that we owe a certain allegiance, we owe a certain contribution of our time, of our money, in order to keep the government going. But the government is not the center of who we are. We are people of faith, and our faith is more important than our patriotism. We have to remember that because at times states call people to do things which are immoral, such as Nazi Germany. And true Christians had to be able to take up the cross, pay the price of martyrdom in order to remain faithful to who they were, like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, like Maximilian Kolbe, like Edith Stein, other people who died for their faith. May God bless us.